Well, good morning and welcome to episode 9 of OverDrive. In the last conversation we talked about ROI, return on investment, and I told you that there were a lot of variables that go into it, and I wanted to start breaking those down for you. The first one I want to talk about is, I think the most important thing is, before you start measuring return on investment and before you start measuring what's working and what's not, you have to know, are you measuring enough total? And so what I mean by that is, when I first started out in sales, or let's say 10 years ago maybe, I had a sales manager, and one of his favorite sayings was, well, the more calls you make, the luckier you get. And to me at the time, it seemed like, well, he's just saying make a lot of phone calls, and it seemed kind of whimsical to bring luck into it. But I realized that in sales, which is the same thing as marketing, there is a lot of luck involved. I've had plenty of experiences where I'll hire new salespeople. Let's say I hire 2 salespeople at the same time, give them the same training, and set them out to do the same job, and they're both working hard at the same level. And let's say 100 calls, sales calls, phone calls, or in person or whatever into it, one guy's gotten rejected 100 times, and the other guy has gone out and made a whopper of a sale. Well, which sales rep in that instance is better? Which one is better at their job? But we can't know, and it seems kind of obvious because, well, they've only made 100 calls, or maybe it's only been a few weeks. We know that the sample size is small, and that luck has played a part in that. Luck has played a big role in their success. The one guy got lucky, maybe, we don't know. Let's say that every 20 phone calls somebody's willing to meet with you, and then every 100 phone calls somebody's willing to buy something from you. Well, we all know that it doesn't happen. It's not evenly distributed. It's not like the 19th phone call, we hang up and we go, okay, the next one, this is the guy, number 20. It doesn't work like that. The reason it doesn't work like that is because it's not distributed evenly. And so I want you to think about a political poll that you'll see when they call and they ask, who are you voting for? And at the bottom, you'll always see margin of error. Well, that margin of error, what that is, it's a measure of the confidence interval. How confident are we in the results from this poll? So if you're making 100 phone calls in sales and one guy makes a big sale and the other guy hasn't made any sales, how confident are we in the results from that poll, which is essentially what it is? Well, so when my sales manager would say, the more calls you make, the luckier you get, what he really meant was, the more calls you make, the less luck plays a part. You take luck out of the equation. You've heard people say, I make my own luck. Well, what that means is, the more phone calls you make, the more in-person meetings you go on, the more work you put into it, the harder you work, the less luck plays a role. And so go back to that margin of error, that confidence interval. What that is it's a direct correlation with sample size. So the larger the sample size for the political poll, the smaller the margin of error. And the more phone calls you make in sales, the more confident you can be in your ability and in your product and in your sales skills, and the less luck is involved. And so the exact same thing holds true with marketing. You have to know that you've done enough marketing, or that you've tried a program long enough or reached enough people before you can start measuring what is the return on this overall program and which variables are working and which ones aren't. It's a common expression. It's kind of a joke, right? Half of my advertising works, I just don't know which half. Well, to measure those kind of things and to do A/B testing and to do experiments where you change variables, you have to have a large enough sample size. And so that's one of the hardest things about small business marketing. If Oreo Cookies wants to do marketing, they have the dollars and the wherewithal to cast a wide enough net and to measure a large enough sample size to be confident in their results. A small business owner frequently will say, I just want to test this. I just want, this is a program that I might want to spend $5,000 or $6,000 a month in, but at first I want to spend $500 once for 1 month and then see what my results are. Well, the problem is the results could be wildly successful out of luck, or they could be wildly unsuccessful out of luck. So the first step is you have to take luck out of the equation. which means you need to be willing to do enough marketing or do it for long enough to get a big enough sample size and take luck out of the equation. And then we're going to start talking about what you should be measuring on our next episode of OverDrive. If I can help you with anything, see Overby at WRAL.com. Tweet me at CMOverby. And as always, please share these videos, share the link to ChrisOverby.com on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thank you.